What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to No Life Metal. I wanted to have a discussion today, so I'm kind of curious what you guys think of these two albums that I'm going to show. Kind of a versus thing. So you always hear, like on Facebook groups or message boards or whatever, I mean, for decades, who's the best band, Judas Priest or Iron Maiden? I mean, it's just been the long time metal debate, you know, which band is best, which band do you like best? And I tend to be in the camp of, I love them both, so they're two of my favorite bands, right? But I've always kind of went in the camp of Judas Priest being the best, only because I think their 70s catalog is unbeatable. But that's not what I want to talk about here. What I want to talk about is two of the albums that people hate the most from those two bands. And so it's these two albums. Both these albums represent something new in these bands. I mean, Judas Priest had a brand new singer for the first time ever, in Tim Ripper Owens, and then Iron Maiden had a new singer, you know, in over a decade, replacing iconic singer Bruce Dickinson, and his name is Blaze Bayley. And when these first came out, people hated him. I've heard so many bad things about him. So I'm kind of curious, what do you think of these two albums, and which one do you like best? So, you know, is it, do you think Virtual X, do you think X Factor is the best, or do you think Jugulator is the best? Now, for me, when X Factor came out, I hated it. Straight up. I just hated it. I thought it was horrible. I blamed Blaze for it, probably wrongly, because it's just, you know, you just kind of have this picture in your head, you know. I'm thinking, you know, I'm in love with songs like Wrathchild and Trooper and Run to the Hills, you know. That's kind of, when I think of Maiden, that's kind of what I think of. So when this came out, and you know, you don't have those pipes that Dickinson had, you don't have those over-the-top songs, it just didn't do it, right? So, you know, I listened to it many times because Maiden's one of my favorite bands, but I basically threw it on the CD rack and didn't listen to it for years on end. And then a friend of mine on a discussion board was talking to me about it, and I'm talking, this is years ago now, but it was King Foley from Deceased, and he really suggested, dude, give it a fresh spin. Stop trying to compare it to, you know, those first four albums, and listen to it on its own merit. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll check it out. And I did. I pulled it off the shelf, threw it in my car, and listened to it, and it was my traffic jam for the day one day, and you know what? It's actually far better than I gave it credit for. It just wasn't what I was wanting or what I was expecting from Maiden. It's a much darker album, and there's some great songs on here. I'm not going to say it's, you know, one of their best albums. I'm not going to say every song is great, so I'm not going to say it's a solid album from front to back, but there's some very good songs on here. And the artwork's great. I mean, it's very different. Again, very different from the hand-drawn artwork from before. You know, you've got something much more computer-generated, much more realistic, but it's still really well done. So yeah, you got Sign of the Cross, good song. Allure of the Flies, great song. Man on the Edge, another very good song. There's a few on here that, you know, The Aftermath. You know, the whole album isn't solid like I would say like Power Slave or Number of the Beast or Iron Maiden or or any of their first five albums would be. But again, I think it's a good album. It's just a much darker Maiden. It's just very different. But if you can listen to it on its own merit, I think it's a good album. Now, Priest with Jugulator, I gotta admit, I love this one from the start. Walked into Hastings and the album wasn't out yet. Went in there to buy something else. When I was checking out, they were giving away, anybody who bought anything metal got a free cassette copy of the song Bullet Train. And I had a cassette deck in my car at the time, so as soon as I got in the car, first thing I did was pop the cassette in, and Bullet Train blew my mind. Man, I played that cassette single over and over again in my car. I mean, that's classic Priest, man. This is a great song. I mean, it really is a pretty close follow-up in sound and style to Painkiller. And new vocalist Tim Ripper Owens, fantastic voice. No, he's not a Halford clone, but would you really want him to be? No, but he's got a great metal voice. I mean, he's got power, he's got range, he's got aggression. I think it's a very good album. I think it's far better than people give it credit for. Is it a great album? Would it topple their 70s catalog? Nah. I don't even know that it would topple albums like Screaming for Vengeance, which I think is like the definition of heavy metal. You know, but I do think it's a good album, and I really enjoy it. Every song great? Not in my opinion, but I do think the album ends with, first of all, I think the song Juggulator is great. I think the album ends with two of the band's best songs in Bullet Train and Cathedral Spires. Man, I would love to hear Priest play that song live with Rob Halford singing on it. It's just a great song. Again, cool artwork, oddly pixelated. I always thought that was odd, especially considering underneath the artwork, you can't see it on mine completely because I have my ticket stub in there from that. I saw them on that tour. But it's not pixelated on the inside, it's only pixelated on the outside, so it's almost like they did it on purpose, which is very strange, but whatever. Yeah, good album. So what do you think? X Factor or Juggulator? Which one do you prefer? Or do you hate them both? Or do you like them both? Or let me know. I kind of want to have some discussions on this. What do you guys think? So that's the whole point of this video, is to discuss this with you guys underneath. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching. God bless. Stay strong.